The 2022 Heat 5 DLC is out, and I played it in a live stream. I have some thoughts. I definitely think I have some thoughts to say on it. So I have my notepad here on my other screen. I'm going to look at it because I have some bullet points to talk about. And we're going to make this very simple. We're going to talk about the pros, and we're going to talk about the cons. So let's get into it. So before we get into everything, the release history was just an absolute disaster. What other way can I really extrapolate all this? So on June 21st, Steam database showed that the game was coming out on the 22nd for all platforms. And I make a video on it. Then the 22nd comes out. I wake up around maybe 10:30. Not 10:30. I don't know when I woke up. Like 7:30, 8 in the morning. I had some errands to run. I come back home. And then I see stuff on Twitter that the game's not working. And it's all just... It's not. It says coming soon instead of coming out today. So I'm making a video talking about it because I wanted to address it. Because I've never seen something like this before when there is a 100% confirmed date that they're going to release something and then it just doesn't happen. Never seen that happen. Instead of that, it got pushed back till 5 p.m. Eastern time. So that was weird. I had people in the comments saying that they purposely delayed it so all the platforms can have it be simultaneously released at the same time. That was not the case. Because when it did release at 5 p.m., the Xbox One players, they could not even access the game. There's been weird situations where my phone blew because I'm probably getting in trouble for talking about all this. But yeah, so so that there was like a situation where people paid $10 for it before it even came out, and then they weren't even getting the product at the release time. It's just such a convoluted mess. Everything about it was just frustrating to even understand or comprehend, and even to report on, because I mean, this game just this update just tried so hard to just not exist apparently. So yeah, Xbox One players can't even play it. I think PS4 people can. Some people on Steam can. Some people can't. I still don't know. It's a mess. But I was able to get it. I want to preference this before people think I'm stupid for paying $10 for this. Which, I mean, I guess in my case, because I am a content creator, I have to be purchasing this so I can review it and tell people whether to buy it or not, and I might have a leeway, but I did get a review code. I basically got it for free, so that's all situated. I didn't actually pay $10 for this. Thank the good Lord. I was really lucky, so I get that out of the way. But the release history was such a convoluted mess. But I did a live stream of it before I even tried to stream the game. The update wasn't like a traditional thing where you have to load it first and then play it. Kind of like when you download a game on Steam, you let it download and then you hit play and then it works. Here it was, you have to boot the game up and then it'll work. I did that and then the update wasn't there and it was still showing my 23 mod. And then on Steam, it was literally trying to load it, and the loading bar was going back and forth. It was a mess. So I basically had to cancel, exit out of the game, and then reload it again, and then it worked. It's just weird, but that was my experience. I have a live stream of it up on YouTube of me experiencing all this stuff for the first time, and basically this video is just gonna be more of a condensed thoughts instead of it being a 2-hour stream. This was my experience when I played it for those 2 hours roughly. So we'll get the pros out of the way. I'm sorry, I just 5 minutes and I didn't even go into the pros yet. I just want to give my experience on this whole thing because it was weird. Pros. Damage model works. The Gen 7 cars have damage model. I know in the 23 mod and other mods of the 22 mod, I know that was one of the things they couldn't get working was the damage. This has it. I don't know what to really say. Am I scraping the bottom of the barrel for positives? Yes. But these are the positives. Car audio is different. It sounds different. Is that worth $10? I don't know, but it's something. The roof flaps work, which is something the mod doesn't have. So there's that. I know the mod. I remember that was a problem that they had. So that's that's a thing. There is a fifth gear, which is to be expected because this is a Gen 7 car. The update the pit road animations, so it's the one lug nut, which is that's cool. Again, I expect it because that's Gen 7 thing. That's what they have, so I expect that. So that's positive. Plate races speeds are accurate. They lowered the speeds, and it replicates real life a little bit. So there's that. That's a nice attention to detail. Car drives, for the most part, the same, but I think the braking might be slightly adjusted. Like at Richmond, I remember the car always being very super slidey. It didn't feel like that. So that might be fixed or slightly tweaked. I don't know, but it felt slightly different. This game has Dirt Bristol. That's a genuine shock. I didn't think that would be really a thing that they would add, honestly. So that was kind of surprising. And that's literally where the positive end. I shit you not, that's where the positive ends. Most of this is kind of just literally like should be obvious. Damage model should be obvious that works. I mean, this is bare minimum stuff. That's really the only positives I can extrapolate from this. That might be 7 or 8 positives. But then we get to the cons, there's like 14 or 15. So let's get into the cons. So, I already talked about the whole release being a mess. Xbox people couldn't play it. No extra paint schemes. It is all just the base paint schemes, which is lame. You literally have all of the licensing rights with the 2022 paint schemes in Ignition and in Rivals. And none of that could be poured over to this to at least make it feel like that $10 is somewhat worth it or justifiable. But no, it's not. So you get all the base packs. The tire rims look gross. They're just all black. There's certain cars that have different shade of black, but they don't really look visually appealing. Actually, the original mod actually did a better job with that, but I don't know if all of that is one-to-one accurate, but just visually is a little more appealing in the mod. But here it's not great looking, but yeah, it's lame. Just one base scheme. It's like with the Ultimate Edition Plus on the Switch, that had one. For 2021 cars, they only had one paint scheme, which was the primary. This might be a deal breaker for a lot of people, and I don't blame them. No custom setups. That is gone. Just want to have a dramatic pause there, because I want to give people like a moment to facepalm, because yeah, custom setups aren't a thing, even though they are a thing in Rivals. It took a while. It took like 6 months. But they finally added it. Here, there's none. I don't know what to say other than that really is disappointing. For people that really are into setups and doing stuff like that, the fact that's not a thing is pretty embarrassing. Especially since that was stuff that was in the game before. So that's just lame. Custom cars. Like you make your own paint schemes. That is not a thing in this game. It is not a thing in offline or in career mode. It just does not exist. Why does it not exist? Well, in the 23 and 22 mod, paint schemes, or that custom paint scheme stuff really didn't work. It just never worked right. So instead of this update fixing that, they just cut it out from the game entirely. So that's lame. So for people that really like to make custom paint schemes, that's just simply not a thing. There's a lot of deal breakers in here, I feel like, for a lot of people. I mean, it's unfortunate. Yeah, what do I say to that? It's just it sucks. It really feels like we're getting less with this. Nothing in here is blowing my socks off. Also, the name banner is messed up. So for people that want to use the 2022 cars in career mode, the name banners are all messed up. It literally is so lazy. at times with this update. And how they implement this. Like, you can't even get your name on the car. Something as basic, baby shit, can't be done. Like, say, whatever your name is, it technically is on the name rail, but it's in a different spot. It's hard to explain, but you'll basically have your name, and then above that, it'll have the actual real-life driver name. And then on the front of the car, it'll have the real-life driver name, too, so... Yeah, just lazy. Because it literally is just, like, the fact that they took... That's what it feels like, because I know with the mods... I think in early beta stuff with the mods, I don't know if this is even true, but when they were trying to, like, get the Gen 7 bodies, they basically put the Gen 7 body on top of the Gen 6 one, and then that name thing, that issue was there. So it's, like, it reminds me of that. I don't know, it's just weird, it does not look right, it's just wrong, so the name banners are messed up. Schedule's wrong, which is not accurate to the 2022 season. I mean, the game, this update is literally, it is called next gen car update. It's not a 2022 season update, so I'm not surprised. But really, is it that hard? Is it really that hard to just, like, you literally have the logos and everything all situated already in NASCAR Rivals? You just take those files and port them over to this, and then that's it. You'll have the 2022 updated stuff. So it's just disappointing to not see that, because it's such a small attention to detail that is appreciated, to at least make it seem like it's just literally just the NASCAR Heat 5, but the 22 cars. Like, it just takes it. I don't know. It really feels like this update is just, they just wanted those next gen cars to be in the game, and then that was it. That was it. Like, if they didn't even bother to try to do anything else. If that's what it feels like. But it's just disappointing, because it's something that I don't think would be impossible. I bang my finger off my desk. I don't know. It's just lazy. I don't know what really to say. It's like, if you're gonna be doing the next gen update, and these are the 2022 cars, why can't we just have updated logos? Because career mode is, like, almost entirely pointless, because it's not even the 2022 season. You're not even getting, there's obviously, we'll get to that later in the list, but yeah, it sucks. I already talked about no updated logos. Bristol Dirt is awful. I mean, granted, it is in the game, but the one positive is, but there's, like, tons of negatives. Bristol Dirt's AI is terrible. They don't run right. They're super fast in qualifying, but then in race trim, they're very slow. And they wreck themselves a lot. So you can't even have strict yellows, even relaxed yellows. They still wreck a good bit. They just wreck way too often. They're not just piss easy. And it feels like a beta, like a pre-alpha game at that track, where it's just like, okay, the track loads, and that's like the first step into getting that track to be, like, functional. It's just like, okay, the AI the track loads up, and the AI get around the track somewhat, and then that was it. They called it a day. That's about as far as they got. It's not really impressive. It's not something that's worth $10 at all. So it's that one new thing, which isn't even really technically a new thing. And even in the track menu, they literally have the Extreme Dirt Tour Bristol Dirt logo. They couldn't even get the real life. It's just so lazy. All this time. This was announced back in August, when this DLC stuff was in a investor call. All the way back in August. All this time. Even though technically from, like, December till April, I don't think was even worked on based on a Steam database, but as all the way back as August, all this time. And it just screams lazy. It just screams like they just barely got the 2022 cars to work, and then just ignored everything else. Is it worth $10? No, it's not. I keep saying that. It's not worth $10 fucking dollars. It would still be much even if it was $5. Like, it really is just not worth it. Atlanta is messed up. AI are overall slower for whatever reason. When you go into 5th gear, the car bogs down and turns into a lawnmower, which makes no sense. Also, we'll get to it, but yeah, so it's literally just faster to be in 4th gear, and then you'll just destroy the competition. So the AI difficulty Atlanta is messed up. That's what do I say? It sucks. I don't know. It's just inexcusable. Obviously, with this update, there is no new tracks, so there's no Coda, no Nashville. They got rid of Chicagoland and Kentucky, Canadian Tire, because they aren't in a 2022 schedule. So you're literally just getting less. You're getting the 2020 season, but less. There's like almost no incentive to even. That's why I keep thinking like if this was meant to be like a 2022 like season update or something. I don't know. I'm kind of surprised that Kentucky and Chicagoland, Canadian Tire, like those tracks were just gone. I don't know. It's just I thought that those would be kept because what is the point of this then? Like, is this supposed to be a literal, a 1-to-1 literal next gen car update, or is this supposed to kind of sort of pseudo reference 2022? I don't fucking know. It's a mess. It's almost like it's not even worth even trying to dive deep into it and try to like comprehend it. Speaking about tracks, yeah, it's the Sonoma in here is the old Sonoma layout, which is the 2019 one with the carousel. It's not the more modern one, or the one that's supposed to reflect 2022, so that's wrong. But the lap counts are accurate. I don't know. Yeah, speaking about the schedule, the 2022 schedule, it's literally just the 2021, or the 2020 schedule, because you got 2 Poconos, like double headers, 2 Dovers. The schedule is all messed up. It's not accurate to 2020. So it's like even if you want to play the career mode, you're not even getting like the 2020 season. You would literally have to just go into championship mode and like make it yourself, which I didn't stream, which I think took 10 minutes, which I don't know why that. It's such a waste. It's such a fucking waste. My game crashed when I was streaming. I don't know why game crashes are just haunting me in NASCAR Rivals, and then now this. But yeah, not only did it crash, it made me lose all of my progress. Like, it literally acted as if I never played the game before, and I had to do the gave me like the settings I want to use and the victory anthem stuff for when I do online races. It did all that. It went through all that when the game crashed. So that gives me even less incentive to play, because if I even dared to do anything with this game off camera, or even as a stream, or even as a video series, which I'm not doing any, how am I, like, if there's a game crash, it's going to reset all my progress, and I'm not going to be able to, like, it's just, I don't know if that's like a 1 in a 10 million chance that I just occurred, or what, but yeah. And obviously I mentioned in my notes the old Sonoma layout. So yeah, that's really it. I don't even know what to say at this point. It's just disappointing. I mean, I guess in a most literal sense it functions, but if that's the bar that we're at, which I can't even say MSG has burned the consumers. I mean, there is nothing left to burn. It is just smoldering ashes that cannot be salvaged. I mean, it's just... I mean, literally my pros are the most basic things. Most basic things. Damage works. Audio works. Roof flaps work. There's a 5th gear. The pit road has the proper animation to reflect the 1 lug nut. I mean, that's it. I mean, what is this for? What is this game for? Is this for people that just really, really want to play the 2022 cars and then in just quick race mode and then nothing else? What kind of longevity is that going to get? I don't know. Career mode is missing races because it only has 33 races, which obviously real life has 36. But they're missing 3 because those 3 aren't in the real life schedule. I think One's Kentucky and Chicagoland. Those are two that are missing in this game. And then the other one is some mystery one that I can't even comprehend. So the schedule isn't reflective of 20. It really just feels like they just got the update, like the 2022 cars, and then that was it. Nothing else was bothered. And then that was it. And they shipped it out and called it a day. We can't get the custom paint scheme, or we can't get the custom or the paint booth to work, so we're just gonna scrap that. Like that's what it screams. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sit here and defend this. I'm not gonna be optimistic Alexander. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be blunt. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be fucking honest, and I'll be fair to some things that are positive when they come, and then there is, but 7 or 8 positives are not gonna outweigh 15 plus other issues. Like, it's just annoying because I don't know what this update's for. If like people really want to do career mode, you can't. Like, it's not even accurate to real life. You basically have to make one yourself. Which even the championship mode's messed up because I originally, this is like back in like 2021 when I did like some championship mode stuff. I think I did one that was like an ideal season, like my own like fantasy like season schedule. Then I did one for the 21 season with the playoffs, not playoffs, but I basically made like a 2004 Chiefs for the Cup like schedule or like playoffs. It remembered that, and it added like eight of them. Same with the ideal season one, like that, like it added like 8 versions of it, of the same thing. I don't understand. I don't know if that's like a modding conflicting issue thing or a game thing. It's just weird. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, in terms of like gameplay, I mean, there's nothing really here that's striking. There really isn't. I mean, the only thing is Dirt Bristol, and then that's it. Well, if you want to, Kentucky's gone, Chicagoland's gone, because they're not in 2022. But this game almost seems to completely ignore the 2022 schedule. So why are they even there? I don't fucking know. It's probably some logistics with licensing because it's not licensed anymore. I don't know, but like you're not getting. I can't justify. I keep saying this in the video, but like I do not recommend purchasing this. I don't support it. I don't even support it. I got it for free. I got it for free, and I still feel pissed. I still feel ripped off. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just so depressing to have all this happen. It's just like I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just. I keep trying to think like, okay, console players literally, if you don't have a Switch, then this is literally the most newest thing that they've had since 2020. I mean, I guess Ignition counts, but nobody plays that. And also, even if this update was like great, even if it had none of these issues I was even describing, it's still outdated. This is last year's shit. So it is so pointless. I mean, it's a first. Again, I've never seen a NASCAR game company do something like this, where they released last year's roster midway through 2023 in a game that came out 3 years ago, because Ignition is such a dumpster fire that no one plays it, and they have to go back to this because objectively more people play this than Ignition. You can look at Steam database or Steam like play counts across the board almost every day of the week, except for maybe that one day where the 2022 Ignition expansion came out for that season. Maybe there was more people playing it that day. But pretty much 365 days of the year, more people are playing Heat 5. That's why they did this with this update. And it just feels so... I can't even say lazy, because like the logistics to get things to function, I would imagine, take a lot of goddamn time. That was the issue with this game, or at least the update forever. It's because the game was like basically in a unplayable state. It would crash, the audio wouldn't work. So I can imagine that for them, getting the damage model to work, getting the roof flaps to work, the 5th gear, was probably a logistical, technical nightmare. But that's not justifiable for $10. I'm sorry, it's just not. Even if this had the best good faith in the world, it's just an outdated update, and it's so comically embarrassing. Like, people think F1 like games are bad. They ain't seen nothing what the NASCAR community has to fucking put up with. Like, it's not even close. F1 22 may have had its problems, but Jesus Christ, it was a new game. It functioned somewhat. And the freaking career mode was a lot more engaging in so many different ways. F1 23 is probably like that. That probably has problems too. Maybe there wasn't a whole lot of updates. Oh, there's a race percentage different. Like, they got that, but like, so much of that absolutely destroys Ignition, destroys all these other heat games. It's just on another league. It's on another level. I don't know by how much, but it's so demoralizing to have these console games be just given the shaft in such a way, and how the situation has just ballooned into what we're in now. And also, MSG has like they basically held the IndyCar license on hostage, because that's a whole other thing. Everything about it is stressful, depressing, sad. And this update really does nothing to save their image, other than they have like a line of dialogue. Why am I acting like it's like a TV show? I mean, this disaster could be a Netflix TV show, to be honest, like documentary series. But yeah, it's just like, this is just something they can just bring up their investor call, that, oh, they released something. They released something. They have something to talk about. They released a thing. That's like the only, I don't know. I don't know. What else can I say? What do I even give this as a rating? A 2? I don't know. They got the Gen 7 cars in there, and the damage works. That's it. That's like the only positives I could think of. But it's not. That doesn't just. It just basically, essentially, just play the 23 mod. It's not perfect. The wheels don't spin properly, and the damage don't work. But god damn it, is there some heart and passion put into it? And it wasn't. It was free. And you get the 23 cars, and you get more paint schemes in there. Literally in the 23 mod, that was literally just made just to get that scheme. Well, I guess basically get the scheme out. That has more paint schemes, because a couple of drivers have like an alternate scheme. That literally has more in it. Even with all its imperfections, it's free. Like, just go purchase that. If it even works, I don't know. With this update, it like broke the 23 mod, so you have to download like an older version of Heat 5. So you have to do this whole rigmarole to get this to work. You have to like go and search how to downgrade Steam games to go to like an older version of Heat 5, and there's such a bunch of logistics behind it. So that's something I'm gonna have to figure out, which I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to, because I'm not tech savvy. But that's where we're at. And then it makes you wonder, like, well, did they purposely try to break the 23 mod, or is this just a level of ineptitude that just fucks shit up? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just done. I don't know. That's really all I have to say on the matter. I didn't even mean for this to be 30 minutes. But there was... I just ramble. I don't know. That's all I have to say. Let me know what you think. And, yeah. I'll see you later.